So let's say this is the vertebral body and this is the spinal process. Now, there is a disc here, and there is a so-called interspinal process ligament here. Now, imagine if this disc collapses, and literally the foramen here gets smaller. There are two ways of these interspinal process devices. Some of them, you cut the ligament, this ligament here, and you put a device here that pushes out, and here, then this is the fulcrum, meaning by opening it up, it opens up the foramen by pushing the spinal processes out. For those devices, actually they started that way, even 20 years ago, with the so-called, interspinal process devices, the first one in about 2020. The goal is to make this foramen bigger and get rid of the foraminal stenosis. Now, they saw that when they do that, there's too much pressure on the spinal processes, and that device initially just was going to open it up, not cause any fusion. More or less, most of the people who did that quit doing that. They noticed that the spinal process deforms, literally, then you have a hole around this here, and then collapses back, and then you have again 6 months later foraminal stenosis. I put a dozen in, I put all of them out, and I took another 3 dozen out from other surgeons. Then they came out with a different approach. Imagine again, this is the vertebral body, spinal process. They kept the interspinal process in place. That's what the Minuteman is. And then they go and put a device here. Literally, this becomes the fulcrum now, and this goes up. That supposedly take the stress off the disc. And again, doesn't matter if the fulcrum is here or here, it opens up the foramen by pushing it up. Initially, that as well didn't do a good job, but then they said, what we should do? We shouldn't just rely on the device, because otherwise bone will deform around it, because it did the same thing here. We should make the bone grow. To do that, then they took both approaches, didn't put only a device in, but they made it fused. So they put a device in like what we do with the pedicle screws, right? They put the device in, and then they made it in a way that it's a clamp, like a clamp here and clamp here, and then put material here to make this area to grow. The problem in both of them is here that in nature, 80% of the weight goes in the front, 20% goes in the back. That is a problem that nature has put here, how much weight can go through that. Now, if you try to fuse it in the back, but you don't support the disc, it's almost universally too much stress on the back. Like here, we are going to go and remove the interspinal process because it broke right here at the base of the spinal process. If the bone quality is better, in certain cases, it may work, and it definitely does give temporary relief. And my take on that is, on somebody you have no other choice, 6 months without pain is better than 6 months with pain. So they have their own temporary legitimacy to use that. But if you can do better, you should do better. And because in the new devices, not the old devices, you are actually putting stuff and fusing it, so they justify it as posterior fusion. Any question?
No.
Okay, thank you.